Hi, thank you for coming and again. And we've been working on overcoming not buying real estate in tragedy, right? And so we've been dealing about grief and understanding our process in grief and the healthier and the non-healthy, right? And so this video is going to be about finding gifts in tragedy. Now, or we could call them finding the treasures in darkness, right? Um, because all of us have experienced some form of loss or tragedy or something that is getting in our way of what we need to be doing, right? Or why our purpose here on this earth is, or it feels so weird, or I can't do it, right? So when we lose people, a lot of these emotions that we step down come up, and we have to be able to respond and react to it the right way. So, what does it mean to actually find the gift in tragedy, right? What does that actually mean? So, what it actually means is I'm going to start finding the good in everything. Like, because of what I've lived through, and because of what I've gone through, I choose to find good in all things. Even the worst thing has become my best asset, right? My worst experience has become something that has been a stepping stone for me to move forward. It has become a stepping stone to my best life. It has become a stepping stone to become a catalyst of change for other people. It has been a stepping stone for me to have financial freedom, to have financial success, to have success in my career, these kind of things, right? It has availed. My worst experience gave me the experience that I can feel, do, and heal. My experience has given me the ability to walk through and be fearless, right? So these are all really, really important things. I, in order to finding out all the good things, right? Um, I actually have to realize that um, I'm seeing things quite different, right? Um, those things are pretty interesting. So instead of realizing I'm all alone in this world, I don't matter, I don't, when we lose people, we feel like it's our fault, or sometimes, or we take it really negatively, right? And we punish ourselves for the fact that they're gone, or we shame ourselves because they're gone, or we give up the things we used to do with them, or we give up any hope of a new life. Um, and so in part of looking at something positive in the tragedies and things that we've lost, I want you to challenge yourself to see things a little different. It only can be like 2% change in perception, right? Like, for instance, if you're doing archery and you pull back the arrow and you let it go, it's actually a sin, right? But you hit it and you might get it a little off from the target. If you just situate it just a little bit, you hit it just right on the target. So, it was only by 2% the change of perception needed to happen. So I challenge you, what is that 2% you can do? Um, the most exciting thing about finding the gift in tragedy is that you get to choose now what you want to do. So no matter who passed away, no matter who's dealing with the sickness, no matter what you've lost in your childhood, no matter what you've lost in your marriage, no matter what form of loss happened to you, you get to right now choose from this point on for the rest of your life, and you can make that decision how you want. So, um, to realize that you're never alone, and know that there are many people that have been through what you've been through, and you're not the only one. You're not the first, you're not the last. It may feel like you're on an island all by yourself, but I tell you, that island is there's a ton of little islands around you feeling the same way. And so I personally have had tons of grief. If you haven't read my book, Death Doesn't Know My Name, it's on Amazon and Kindle. you'll understand that the childhood that I went through was horrid. It was worse than a horror flick. And what I've had to endure with all the odds against me and all the death that's been around me. Um, it's easy for say, oh, you don't have friends, you don't have family, you don't have this. And it's kind of hard. It put me in some situations I didn't understand how to get through, especially as a young girl, 13, 16, 18, 20. They're still really young ages to be having to deal with like major adult issues and stuff. So it was just really difficult. And I was so angry and so rageful because I didn't know I could choose. It was an incredible relief for me when someone finally told me, oh my gosh, you can choose now what you want the rest of your life to be. And you can have everything you want, and you can have the life of your wildest dreams, even after everything, right? And understanding that you're not alone is that when you speak your voice, like for instance, cancer gave me my voice. Terminal cancer gave me the ability to step up for myself and stand up and say, no, I am done with the abuse. I am done with tragedy. I am done with cancer. I am done with sickness. I am done with all the craziness. I want something different. And I started speaking up and I became proactive in my life for myself. I became proactive in everything that I deal with my life. It has been amazing since then. I walked out of hospice in 2013. I battled cancer since 2001 and I beat it in 2015. So that's just an incredible opportunity. It was strategic in every essence I go. But the minute I chose my life now and what I want to be and how I want to be and what I want to do and all these things, it got really quick for me. And I've just been on the uphill since then. And I have been working my booty off in incredible ways to get to where I'm at today. So you can have your best life now after tragedy, after sickness, after disease, after loss, after everything. If you've lost a job out there that you love so much, you know what? Maybe it's because it's time for you to do your own. Maybe it's time for you to step out and risk and have faith. I've been an executive chef for a very long time and I've done a lot of my life. And man, when I felt bad when things happened at a restaurant that I no longer was a sous chef. But it took me a week and a half to really figure out, okay, it's time I'm going to open up my own now. What steps do I got to take? What do I got to do? And what kind of food do I want to cook? And how are people going to respond to that? I mean, it just took so much. I was like 20 years old when I opened up my first restaurant. So this is kind of like, wow, right? In spite of all the tragedy, in spite of everything that I was going through, my life was fed with these amazing things. So I'm so appreciative of all the people who are around me and all the people that were helping me walk through all this tragedy. Um, I don't celebrate the people, I don't celebrate the death that happened in my life, but I celebrate the people that have come into my life to help teach me and overcome. And that's an incredible way to understand I've never been alone and they're always with me, even if they went on to the other side to help protect and feed me more goodness and nourishment and they graduated on, you know, I have the ability to understand I'm not alone and I never walk alone again. Um, you know, I used to always ask like, why is it I had to go through so much? Why me, right? Why not you? Because you're strong enough, because you're valuable enough, because you have something great inside of you that someone is just waiting to hear and you were strong enough to walk through it to give inspiration. So I don't know why God does what he does, but all I know is that I'm here willing to suit up and show up. So if you're not willing to suit up and show up in your own life, how do you expect others to? So when you suit up and show up, and you know what, I'm going to do the right thing, regardless if I'm the only one doing the right thing because the truth is what sets you free no matter what. So that is an incredible thing to know. I am strong enough because I'm not alone, you know? And it's not an I program, it's a we. Together we make it. Alone I stand, right? So when I was feeling really alone after losses, incredible losses, I got a list of people that I could help, or I called a friend and I reached out. I had a list of people I could reach out every day to, right? I took a walk. I went to the gym. I went to places where I had to communicate with people so I didn't lose what I needed to share, right? And I started formulating that. So that really helped me in dealing with tragedy because it gave me inspiration to keep me going, and it kept me sharing with people that we can overcome and so forth. Um, being brave, even after, what do you have to do after the loss to be brave, right? You have to be willing to feel, deal, and heal. To be brave, you have to be willing to not blame yourself for it. To be brave, you have to be willing to truly overcome and forgive. You can be your best life ever. You can have the best life ever, even after tragedy. How do you do this? It's by realizing that you can overcome, and that you, even though the tragedy affected you, you're grateful that it happened to you, and that you're grateful that you survived it and are now you can help others survive it. You know, that is really incredible. Like with my cancer, I am so blessed I had cancer because it gave me my voice, a voice I never had, right? Um, And, I want to encourage you to live, take risk, uh, make make your life the best of your wildest dreams. And what are your wildest dreams? Wow, mine are big. Mine are really big. So I had to outline them. I had to make dream boards about them. I had to truly understand what I was doing to myself in my life. So I know, right? I'm still grieving myself. Life has happened, COVID's happened, things are happening. So no matter what, the people I've lost in my life, I'm grateful. I've forgiven them all. Um, I am grateful for all my experiences, the good and the bad. And I'm grateful I went through it all because I learned by being grateful and changing my perspective and finding the gifts in my tragedies. I was able to move on and have inspiration to share with you. So I'm very grateful for that. So please let me know if there's anything that I can do. Yes.